we all do this. We self-sabotage, right? We do things, we behave in such a way that we actually limit our own ability.
Welcome to Seven Figure Copy, the show where I teach you how to create powerful strategic messaging so you can attract high-paying clients and scale your business to the next level with ease. I'm Gina Whitehouse, your expert conversion copywriter, and this podcast is for ambitious, value-driven female entrepreneurs like you who are ready to scale from 6 to 7 figures without sacrificing what matters most: your values, your time, and your family. In each episode, we'll dive into the art of crafting persuasive words for high-converting websites and sales pages, and you'll learn strategic copy techniques so you attract premium clients and boost your revenue. This podcast was created to help you tackle the challenges of balancing family life and business growth as you take your business to the next level. If you're ready to add a trusted partner to your team, making sure your message is compelling, consistent, and impactful, then you're in the right place. Today, I'm sitting down with Lindsay White, a leadership coach, host of the Female Founder Unplugged podcast, and people strategy expert at High Voltage Leadership. Lindsay helps female founders build high-performing teams without sacrificing their sanity or values. She's not your typical coach or HR consultant. She actually blends CEO-level strategy with emotional intelligence to help women scale their businesses the right way. And today we're giving one of her offers a headline makeover. We'll be diving into the sales page for her mindset-focused program called Positive Intelligence. It's a 6-week experience that helps high-achieving women strengthen their mental fitness, quiet their inner critic, and lead with more clarity and confidence. If you've ever wondered whether your headline is pulling its weight or if your offer is being overlooked because your copy just isn't clear, this audit is going to give you the insight you didn't know you needed. And make sure to stick around because Lindsay is also going to share with us practical tips on how to calm the mental chaos and step fully into your leadership role, even when your business feels a bit big, messy, or overwhelming. So let's get into this. Hey, Lindsay, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure.
So before we dive into your headline that we're going to talk about, I want to set the stage a bit. So you're not a beginner, you've built a strong business, and you have a proven offer, and you're a trusted expert in your field. But you said you wanted a second pair of eyes on your sales page for the Positive Intelligence program. So let's start there. What made you feel like this page needed a little polishing? What isn't working the way you hoped?
Yeah, I think, for me, what I felt was missing is that some of the copy that we have is really not portraying the transformation in the exciting way. This boot camp truly changes ultimately the way your brain works. There's real neuroscience here, and it shifts that conversation that that negative chatter we all have in our head. I just didn't feel like the copy was really articulating that shift and really articulating how that shift then is impactful for my target client, which are often female entrepreneurs, very similar to you and I.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. In sales pages, we really have to paint that picture of the transformation that they're going to get, right? So people can see themselves in it. So this is one of the reasons why I actually just wanted to start with the first thing on your sales page, which is the headline. So today we're going to briefly talk about the headline and the subheadline, and then we're going to let you share some of your expertise with us. So how does that sound?
That sounds great.
Okay, so the current headline on your sales page, and let me say again, this is for the Positive Intelligence Bootcamp you have. The headline says, shift the balance of power inside your mind. And then right under that, you have a subheadline underneath that says, so you can achieve more and help others do the same. So I'm going to quickly talk right here about what I see that's not working. The first thing is that I feel it's very conceptual and a bit vague, specifically the phrases like, shift of balance and power inside your mind, right? We really want to be more clear about that. Like, what does that really mean? What is your ideal client really thinking? My question is, what does that exactly look like? How does this show up in the lives of your potential clients? Because right when they hit that headline and subheadline, you want them to think, oh my gosh, this is me. I need this, right? The headline and subheadline, especially the subheadline on a sales page, really has to qualify that person. So right away when they hit there, they need to know, okay, this is for me, or no, this isn't for me. I can walk away, and that's okay, right? So we also want to know immediately, we want to know what the offer is and who it's for. And so the headline, shift the balance of power in your side, inside your mind, and then subheadline, so you can achieve more and help others do the same. It doesn't tell us who it's for, right? It's very vague. So here's my recommendations. I came up with, 3 headlines for you. Let me just say, if you listen to season 1, which if you haven't, you should go back and listen to all those listening right now. Go back and listen. I do talk a lot about headlines. I'm going to say the difference here is that in season 1, I talked a lot about pages and website copy. But here we're talking specifically about a sales page. So when someone hits the sales page, you want them to know exactly that, okay, this is a product, this is a program or a service. And one way we could do that is by making just a very simple headline that almost is just even the name of the thing you're offering, which if you went back to season 1 and listened to that, that's not something I would say for website copy, but because we're doing sales page copy, this is what I'm recommending. So I have 3 simple headlines here for you. Headline number 1 just says positive intelligence, right? It's just the name of the program.
Yeah.
The second headline is introducing the Positive Intelligence Bootcamp. And then the third is welcome to Positive Intelligence. So all 3 clarify the name of the program and cue the reader that this is a defined experience and not just a concept. Okay.
Right.
So they know immediately that they've landed on a page that's for a program or an offer, and that's key. Now, for the subheadline, this is where I want to see you pull in the pain points and the transformation, just kind of hint on that transformation that your audience is actually looking for. So these are the 2 options. Subheadline number 1 says, a 6-week mental fitness bootcamp for female founders like you who are ready to go from surviving to leading with clarity, calm, and unshakable confidence. How does that sound to you?
Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot.
What I like about this one is it hits on the pain point and then the transformation. So it says they can go from surviving to leading, right?
Yes.
And then we list out those feelings, the clarity, the calm, and the unshakable confidence. And we're also telling them that this is a boot camp and that it's 6 weeks. So they automatically know what the duration is.
Yeah.
And we're calling out who your target audience is, which are female founders.
Yeah.
Right. So if a male founder it's on that website, they're like, no, this is not for me.
Right.
They know. Yeah. They can walk away, Okay. And then the second subheadline option says this. It says, the only mindset program that helps female founders like you build mental strength and resilience in just 6 weeks so you can grow your business and lead without burnout, self-doubt, or second-guessing every decision. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that too.
Do you feel a pull towards one or the other?
Yeah, I mean, I like both. I feel like the first one is a little more compelling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you think so? I'm curious.
Well, exactly what you said. I think, and I'm not the kind of person, I know there's lots of marketing out there that's, hit on the pain points. I think it's important to call them out, but with the appropriate level. And then, what is the transformation? How can it be different? And so I just felt like that first one has a little bit more of that.
All right, great. Well, I'm glad you like it. And I agree with you. I think we need to hit on the pain points, but there's some instances where you really just hit on the desires more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You want people to see what they can get when they work with you. You know? Yeah, I think so. Okay. So let's talk about you a little bit.
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
Absolutely.
All right, so the whole season here is about what makes people say yes to your offer, but sometimes the real change is really just getting out of our own way first. And in your work with female founders, I know that you teach that we have these inner saboteurs. Did I say that right? Saboteurs?
Yeah.
Saboteurs that get in the way of our success. So can you explain what a saboteur is and which do you see showing up most often when it's time to sell?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So we all do this. We self-sabotage, right? We do things, we behave in such a way that we actually limit our own ability. We have an ongoing dialogue in our own head, every single one of us, unless you are really a sociopath Or perhaps if you're Deepak Chopra or the Dalai Lama and you meditate a lot. But we all have a conversation in our own brain. This is neuroscience.
We do.
It is absolutely a survival function. The tricky part is, for many of us, it is a positive, right? It does enable us to do a number of things, and it can be very advantageous. It's when, like anything, it's when it is on hyperdrive. That it becomes a negative, it becomes very limiting, and it puts us into what I call the saboteur spiral. And so many of you will be familiar with this, where you spend a great deal of time ruminating about things that you have done wrong, or places where you've screwed up or made a mess. For some of us, it is about waiting for the other shoe to drop. Making plan A, B, C, D all the way through Z, right, because we think it's always going to go wrong. So the interesting part about this program is it identifies the 10 different ways that we self-sabotage. Now, every one of us has a slightly different conversation because we've had a slightly different experience, particularly in our youth. I mean, a lot of this comes from our childhood, and not necessarily that we've experienced a ton of trauma. It could be very simply that the librarian, when you were in grade 6, said, that book's a little advanced for you. And what you heard and internalized is, I can't read good, right? Some of the stuff can be quite innocuous, but our brain takes it and it grows it and it becomes like a bit of a fungus. And then we get this pain tape in our head and we play it over and over and over to ourselves. So this is what I love about this particular work, is that it gives us the opportunity, first and foremost, to identify what our conversation is. Where are we self-sabotaging? Because for so many of us, we don't have a great awareness of it, and you cannot do anything about it if you don't know what it is. That's hard. None of us really want to hear that conversation. Like, we might know it exists, but nobody really wants to hear it. Right. But once we do that, once we identify what is actually happening, then we can apply some very specific tools and techniques to actually manage that conversation in our head. This is neuroplasticity. We can rewire our brain. Well, that's super cool, right? That we actually have the power to control our own thoughts. And so that's why I love this particular system. That's why this work is something I do personally every day.
If you've ever thought, I know my offer helps people, but I'm not sure if my sales page is motivating people to buy, I want you to know right now that you are not alone. Let's get you from second guessing every word to selling your service, product, or program with confidence and clarity ASAP. Today, I'm inviting you to book a 30-minute complimentary copy chat with me to find out whether you need a strategic copy audit of your existing sales page, or if you need a newly written, high-converting, done-for-you sales page. Let's make your offer sell easier, attract the right fit people, and make them think, how did she get in my head? Go to the show notes to book your call today, or go to my website at whitehousesm.com. Very cool. Yeah, when you were talking, I immediately thought of, what's that? It's just a story in my mind, I guess. Like, I've heard people say, and it's true, that someone can give you like 100 compliments, but you will focus on that one negative thing.
Yes.
Right? And not remember all the other 100 or 99 compliments.
100%.
We do that all the time.
Yes, our brains are actually wired that way. Again, cool neuroscience here. It is a survival mechanism. So our brains are wired to see risk. We are doing a constant ongoing risk analysis. And so that is how our species has survived and become, like, essentially, the dominant species on this planet. Whether you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's another show. But it is our ability to manage at risk. And so, but what happens is, I often say, the part of our brain where all of this risk management stuff goes on is our amygdala. That's where that fight, flight, or freeze lives as well. It's an extremely old part of our brain. And when that part of the brain was developed, we were worried whether we were going to get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. Well, guess what? We don't have those anymore. So now the risk is, and the threat is, that proposal I'm sending to a client, that podcast I just want to start, that conversation that I'm going to do that, doing that TED Talk, the conversation I want to have with a prospective collaboration partner, that our brain assigns the same value to those conversations, that existential risk that it does to physical threat. And the truth is they're not the same.
So I'm curious, how do you see female business owners kind of derail their own ability to show up with confidence and clarity in their copy, messaging, and or their leadership because of this?
Yeah. So, I mean, like number one with our leadership is because what happens is these saboteurs are causing us to react in a way that is not aligned with who we wish to be, what our values are, what our purpose is, and what some of those sort of guiding pieces are. So instead of being the kind, empathetic leader that we actually desire to be, we become the stressed out and overwhelmed leader. Instead of being the leader that's setting the strategy, we double down and we micromanage. So it actually really shows up in the way that we lead and the impact that we have on others. And the unfortunate reality is when we're hijacked by our saboteurs, we start running around and hijacking other people. So for example, a lot of female founders are hyper achievers. And let's be clear, we're not talking about high achievers. We're talking about hyper achievers. What does that translate as? Being a workaholic. So now I'm working 60 or 70 or 80 hours a week. Well, it's my business. Well, what do? Well, I end up sending emails at 10 p.m. at night or 3 a.m. in the morning to my assistant or to my contractors or my consultants or my employees. And what are they thinking? I'm not working hard enough. So now my behavior, because I'm hijacked, because I think I'm not working hard enough and I'm not successful enough, and I need to work harder, I'm hijacking someone else. Even if I don't want to be.
Yeah, right? I see that.
Yeah. So it's very subtle. It's very subtle, but it's very impactful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you've got my wheels spinning in all different directions right now.
Yeah.
I've got to think about this. Yeah.
Totally. And how does that show up in our copy? Well, I think there's a myriad of ways, right? Perhaps we undersell the thing because the voice in our head says we're not good enough, we're not smart enough.
Right.
Or maybe we are overselling because we just want to be so successful, right? It could be things like being an avoider. So some of us, our saboteur is that we avoid confrontation. So we just don't do the copy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could show up in so many different ways, even just in sales conversations, not having the confidence to do that and undervaluing ourselves, not asking for the value of whatever that service is.
Yes. Yeah. One of the sneakiest ways this shows up is that I have to get one more degree, one more designation. I need to take one more course. That is your saboteur telling you that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you don't have enough experience. I'll just go get that one more certification and then. No, absolutely not. I mean, Gina, you and I work with some incredibly smart business owners.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've been there. I've had those conversations in my mind. Oh, do I need to get one more of these? Do I need to get more, one more certification here? Do I need to go back to school to get a degree now? And
100%.
A lot of times the way I just kind of turn that off is by telling myself, no, you don't. Like, you can do whatever you want. You can start now.
Yes.
Have you, and I'll ask, well, have you worked with people before? Did you get good results? And all the answer is yes. So why do I need to go get another, this or that, or pay thousands of dollars for this or that, unless there's like some kind of really niche down thing that I want to learn, that I want to add to whatever I'm offering. Like, no, I don't need to do that.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So you're able to have some of that conversation yourself. But for many of us, we can't do that. That is really difficult. And we end up in the saboteur spiral.
Right.
So the cool part about the boot camp is first and foremost, you learn about what that conversation is in your head. Second of all, you build the mental muscles so that when the conversation does start, you can turn the volume down or hit the mute button.
Right.
And then the third part is we actually learn about our sage. So the opposite of the saboteur is our sage. And we have incredible superpowers: empathy, exploration, creativity, innovation. We're able to navigate really difficult situations. And then, of course, we activate and get into laser focused capabilities. We execute. So, wow, if you could control the dialogue in your own head, transition very quickly and move with incredible speed and focus, I think that's what every female entrepreneur wants.
Oh, yeah. And I think for myself, though, I mean, it just goes back to a lot of trial and error and just, how do I even explain it? Just trials, right? All through life. Like, you're building that muscle. I like, you said mental muscle, or I know somewhere in your copy on your page, you maybe said mental fitness, building that mental fitness, that same idea of like breaking down the muscle when you're working out. Yes. And as you go through these circumstances and scenarios in life, you learn how to navigate them. You learn how to shut things down quicker and building that mental fitness. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So, that's the metaphor that we use as mental fitness. You go to the gym to work out your muscles. Well, go to the boot camp to work out your brain cells.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So let me ask you another question. Okay. So you teach that leadership isn't just about what happens on the outside. Obviously, we're talking about the mind, right? It starts in your mindset. So for the women listening right now who are trying to grow their business, but are constantly second guessing their decisions or their offers, what's one belief or mindset shift that they need to make in order to show up in a way that really invites a yes from their audience?
Oh, that's such a good question. I think we've already alluded to it. I think the most important mindset shift we need to make is that you do have the experience, you do have the education, you do have the track record, you got the receipts, as they say.
Right.
Right. And we need in those moments to be able to reflect back on, yes, I have done those things. I am good at this. I am an expert. And it's okay to call myself that. Like, it took me a long time to be able to wrap my head around that I am an expert. People come to me because what I do is at the next level. I think if we can walk ourselves through that process and we can, even if you got to put sticky notes on your monitor so that you see it, right?
Print it out, put it in a little mantra. Frame.
Yeah.
Yes.
Frame it, put it on your wall. I think that that's really, really valuable. We need to be able to remind ourselves, because can't go and listen to a podcast every time.
Right.
We've got to be able to do that for ourselves. Yeah.
That's very good. Very good. So if someone's listening right now and they're just kind of stuck in that survival mode and they are trying to scale their business, what's one mental fitness practice that she could start this week just to calm the chaos and really start to lead with more clarity?
Yeah. I think one of the most important things we can do is breathe. The difference between excitement and overwhelm is breath. So pause, get comfortable, get quiet, and really deeply focus on your breathing. Breathe all the way to the bottom of your lungs. Hold it, push the air all the way out. And do that 4 or 5 times. So, really spending a couple minutes, sink into that breath and focus exclusively on the sensation of breathing. What this does is it calms your amygdala. That is where that fight, flight, or freeze, where that saboteur comes from. What that then does is give our prefrontal cortex, that's the part at the front of the brain, the opportunity to re-engage. And that's when we can start thinking through. I do have the receipts. I do have the education. Yeah. I do have the experience. I have worked with clients like this before, and I have helped them create incredible results. When the amygdala is all fired up, it's hard to get through that conversation with yourself.
That's great. Yeah. And there's times when I just have to stop and take a deep breath. Like you just feel like, oh, I've got so much to do today.
Yes.
I'm one of those people who I look forward to, not even to the end of the day. I'm looking, the end of this week, a month down from now. My husband's sometimes like, you got to stop doing that. It hasn't even happened yet, Gina. Stop,
That's
to just
exactly
sit down
it.
and take a breath. So I like to ask this in closing with everybody who comes on. Give us one tip to our listeners, our female entrepreneurs and small business owners. One tip that you can give them on how to thrive in their business while they're trying to juggle business and family life.
Yeah, because the blend of that is hard, right? And I don't believe in balance, just to be clear. I don't think there's any such thing, because no sooner do you think you're in a space of real balance in your life and your work, then, the kids' school calls and somebody's thrown up, or a vendor calls and things going to be late, whatever. I believe in blend. And so this is my tip for everybody. And I try and live by this too, is manage the moment. What do I need to focus on right now? Urgent versus important, right? And when we can find the space where we're actually managing the things that are important and urgent, that's great. When we can find the space where we're dealing with the important because the urgent has already been managed, that's when we stop being a firefighter and start being truly strategic.
So good. Yeah, I like how you said that you don't believe in balance.
Nope.
I'm kind of there with you. I believe more in priorities.
Sure.
Got to choose what your priorities are. And it's kind of similar to what you're saying. Like, what's the
100%.
urgent thing? What's the not urgent thing?
Yeah.
Lindsay, thank you so much. Where can people connect with you and learn more about how you help female business owners and founders?
Yeah, thank you for asking. So my website's highvoltageleadership.ca. You can always find me there. I love to hang out on LinkedIn. So come and connect with me. My name's Lindsay White. That's where you would find me on LinkedIn. And then I also am on Instagram, and my handle is @highvoltleadership.
Very good. Thank you. And if you guys are listening and you want to see more real world copy makeovers and learn how to upgrade your own messaging, don't forget to unlock the Yes Vault, and I'll drop the link in the show notes. So thank you, Lindsay, for joining me today.
Absolutely my pleasure. Thanks so much for your help with my copy.
Oh, yeah, no problem. It's fun. If anybody here listening, if you listen for long enough, I love a good makeover. So
I love it.
I love the before. I love the after, even in the written word,
100%. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. All right. Thank you, Lindsay. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Seven Figure Copy. If you've enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave a 5-star review on your favorite platform and follow me on Instagram for more insights. Can you think of one female entrepreneur or small business owner right now who could benefit from listening to this podcast? Please share this episode with them. And if you're ready to hand off the copy for your website, emails, and sales pages, head over to www.whitehousesm.com to book a complimentary copy chat with me. Let's partner together to take your business to the next level.